Twilight Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping, because you got to hold your breath for justice. To see justice before all face to blink is his your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I'm coming through today, May the 16th, 2025. Yes, just took a few minutes to do my next installment of Mental Health Awareness Month, right? May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I was touching on different aspects that affect my mental health. And if it affects me, I'm sure that it affects others. So I'm just going to tell my story, my journey with mental health. And I believe the most of all the feelings that I feel is depression. Now, y'all know before I said I wanted to break down my depression because I have been a person that was, was, but God healed me of that, deeply depressed, deeply. And in 2009, this was my last bout with that deep depression. And when God brought me out, I prayed that He would never let me slip that far back into depression. Now, I do deal with, there are levels to depression. I'm talking about that deep, 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 deep depression where you don't even want to get out the bed. You don't want to do anything because nothing really matters. Um, and you don't even know if you want to be here. That type of depression. How life and everyone would be better without you. That type of depression I have not felt since 2009. But getting kind of down, I have had those levels of depression. So there are um, different, levels to depression. And different things have caused depression and which led to issues with mental health um, in my life. Okay, my first video was being a prison wife. That is a the darkest road you can think of. Dark, lonely road. It's one of them highways you praying to God your car does not cut off on. That dark, lonely road. And you're reaching out for help from others. But others can't help you because first they're judging you and looking down on you. They won't hear you. They won't listen. So they won't listen and they won't hear and they won't understand because they refuse to. It's not because they can't hear you. It's not because they can't. They just refuse to hear it. And it's because of all the stigmas behind. Society has done a good job of deeming people that have been incarcerated and are incarcerated, deeming them as pretty much nothing. So if you have any involvement with anybody that has been incarcerated, you're pretty much nothing as well because you're attaching yourself to these nothings. This is how people look at it, not me. I know that anybody could end up in those shoes, and if you're not, it is the grace of God that you're not. Not because you're so good. I too myself could have been wrongfully arrested. And if I was wrongfully arrested, y'all would have been saying, I did it. But praises be to God, that was not in His will for me. and it didn't happen. I wasn't arrested. I made the correct decisions, even though I ain't know what to do. God led me through it, and it wasn't for His will for me to be wrongfully incarcerated. But it was within His will that my husband be wrongfully incarcerated. This is going to tie to today's mental health issue. So, another part of my life that has caused me depression, because this is the feeling that I don't know, like I said yesterday, I think it's a default mode. Like when you feel it's right before giving up because you just feel hopeless. Like you can't, as long as the human spirit, I know for myself, as long as you feel like there's something else you can do, that this is not the end stop, this is not the end of the line for you, that things will get better. As long as you have those things to hold on to, you kind of tend to keep on pressing forward and you don't fully go into depression. Once depression sets in, it's something that paralyzes you. It stops your momentum, it stops your forward movement, and it stops you from doing things because you kind of feel like this is it and there's nothing you can do to fix it. So, my second part that caused me a lot of depression, which I might go back to because I wanted to do a second part to that, is my art career. Being an artist, I've done some research. Basically, I Google why do artists go crazy because sometimes I feel like I'm just off the rock. And I started to dive into my life as an artist and why it just drives me crazy and why it depresses me. Um, I think that it is because of the art being attached to a part of who you are as an artist. It's not just art. You are literally attached to your art. It is a portion of you. It is your heart. It is your tears, your blood, your sweat, your soul. All of that is put into your art. So you're putting bits of yourself into your art. And when it doesn't do anything, because art is not for the artist. I mean, it's therapeutic. It gives you joy. It is nice to release your thoughts that were swarming in your head and now it's on a canvas. That's nice. But the art is really for others. Your gift is for others. That's why it's a gift, because you have it and you give it away. It's not for yourself. So when you're making art, nobody is acknowledging it. Nobody is looking at it. Nobody is appreciating it. It feels like it's nothing. And remember, I said you're attached to your art, so it makes you feel like you're nothing, which is a direct opposite of when an artist is successful. When an artist is successful, they're selling paintings or whatever type of artist you are. Your music is being heard. You're not being suppressed. People actually can hear your voice, your lyrics, your heart, your soul that you poured into that music. And if you paint it, they see the colors you use. They see the brush strokes. They say, wow, it must have, can you imagine the mindset the person was in when they painted this? Like, they see your concept. You're seeing people come to your artwork and it moves them. And you're realizing that you painted that piece for a reason. And the reason was completed because it gave that person and invoked that feeling that you were trying to invoke. and you're making money, your art is selling, so you're not barely making it. In this world, first and foremost, you gotta spend most of your time in your life barely taking care of yourself. So if your time is spent there, you're not available to spend your time with your art. And for an artist has got to create art or they don't feel like they're fulfilling their purpose. So when you're stuck, this is where I am. I'm stuck in the 9 to 5 that takes most of my time, energy, and everything else that I have. It depletes me. And then I get off, and I had all these ideas in my head. And it's crazy. I don't know about if other artists feel this. You have so many ideas in your head, and you really just want to get them all out, but it takes time to get them out. You can't, they don't just transfer. Ain't no USB where it just comes from your head and it's out on canvas. Like, girl, it's time, it's passion. It You have to actually complete the action. Oh, that rhymed, girl. So they're just up there and they're swirling around, swirling around, swirling around. And you're not free from it until it's out on canvas. But that successful artist is getting money to do that. And the unsuccessful artists, such as myself, unless I find a different way to define success, I'm an unsuccessful artist where I put it out on canvas, I put it out on paper, or when I was doing my hand painted t-shirts, or when I was doing my music, I put it out on audio, and I'm so limited in the reach that I have that I can't get an effect. It's cause and effect. So I can do the cause, but it causes no effect. No feelings invoked because the art was never presented before anybody. No one got to see it. No one got to hear it. And you just know if you had that opportunity, you know people would love it, but you just don't have that opportunity. So that walks me to the front door of what a third aspect of my life dealing with mental health and more specifically depression stemming from social media. Social media will have your mental health and social media. That's crazy. Who would think we would ever be in a time where I didn't even understand the song Computer Love. When that was out, like, girl, baby, I was a baby. But as I got older and, parents play that, I'm like, that don't even make sense. When I was coming up, I had a computer class, and computers had those big backs, big back, big back, big back, big back computers. The screen was black with green pixelated writing. It was boring. So I always was like, computer love? How could you have a computer love? Like, it made no sense. Computers weren't integrated into our lives like it is now. So now it's almost like you are a real human, but you're also that avatar. Whatever avatar you use on your social medias. most of my social medias is, y'all know, the picture of me, where I have the flower in my head and I'm pointing. It's basically my rendition of, it was a Monica Arnold um, album, that one where she said, "You should have known better," which I didn't know that was. I didn't know at the time that that was about Corey Miller, and she was with him when he was incarcerated. He is maintaining his innocence, saying that he is wrongfully incarcerated. So I didn't even know it was that connection. But that picture, when I was going to see Monica Arnold in a concert, and I look up the pictures of the person, and when I seen that picture just stood out to me so much. And it became one of my best paintings. I do something called Project Reach the World. It's all connected. Something happened to me when I was in my early 20s. My husband, 2 months after getting off of bed rest, my husband was wrongfully arrested. And by 9 months, by our daughter turning 9 months, he was snatched out of our household. Our family was broken, but I refused to leave the pieces on the ground. I just knew, no, this is not happening to me. This is not my life. And I'm going to do something about it. And I started just releasing emotions through spoken word poetry. My spoken word poetry turned into rapping. Really, it turned into songwriting, but I could never find nobody to sing for me, and I can't hold the note. So I decided to try to rap, which ended up, wow, that's genius. I should have been rapping, because rap gets on the radio, and I can tell the story of my husband being wrongfully convicted through a song. And that, I just thought that was so freaking genius, that once people heard my song, they were gonna ask me, like, is that true? Your husband's really wrongfully convicted? Like, can we do something? Can we help? And then they want to know more about the story. I finally get this story broken, that he's wrongfully incarcerated. And then our family's restored. Like, literally, it played out so well. And by the time music, I started rapping, it was 2005, 106. You know, with me meeting Life Jennings. Life Jennings changed my life. That meet and greet with Life Jennings through my life from this to a whole different that whole different pathway. I'll just stop. You know, you try to put in a word and you don't know how to spell it, and you just say, forget it. What other word can I put there that I do know how to spell? Trajectory or something like that, girl. It put me on a different path just from meeting Life Jennings. And before meeting him, I dreamed I met that man. And in the dream, I gave him a piece of artwork. I recited a poem for him called 1020 Life. And after seeing these God given talents of mine, really God's talents that are through me, his gifts that are exposed to the world through me, but so they're not really mine. I'm entrusted to them. He was like, wow, we gotta work together. And I woke up and the dream played out just like it was in the dream. But the end of the dream, I didn't become successful. You know, I mean, in real life, I didn't become successful. We didn't make songs together. I didn't get the money that from making songs together that actually afforded me legal representation for my husband, set us up financially, and we were free in the end. That did not happen. And I realized through being a person that has dreams, and they really a lot of times come true, but I realized it wasn't always the person that's in the dream. So I'm like, maybe it's not Life Jennings. It could be somebody else. So if it's not Life Jennings, Project Reach the World, let's reach who we trying to. it was a way to comb through the world and find who it was I was supposed to get into. It's like finding your destiny helper. That's what Project Reach the World really is, finding that destiny helper. Because I have a lot, but until that destiny helper actually opens that door or gives that opportunity or listens and hears and knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that could break this story, until I meet that person, it kind of stays on this level. So, with doing music, I remember going to all these music conferences, and TJ Chapman used to be at all of them. I started seeing the same people, and I started realizing that those music conferences were basically. I wrote a poem called Dream Pimp. Maybe I'll find it and I'll recite it. I wrote that a long time ago. The pimper of all dreams. So people that see you with the dream, they will try to attach to it so that they can make money off of your dreams. You're basically making money off of others chasing their dreams, right? So I started seeing really all them people at the music conferences as dream pimps, whatever. They're making money, charging fees, charging this and that, and half of them people they not even gonna further their dream. So, but I'm not saying that about TJ Chapman. I'm just saying he was at all the music conferences. But the whole music conference thing together to me ended up seeming like it was just a way to pimp others' dreams. Make money off of somebody having a dream, but never giving them the opportunity. Um, so he would always say, every music conference, it's relationships. He would say relationships. Basically meaning, I don't care how good, bad, or other you are. It's about who you know. So it's about networking. It's about, give, take, tit, tat. That's what it's about. Relationships. He always said that. So, networking. And the time I was doing music, it was in person. You had demos. You went to different showcases. You went to the music conferences. You we have something called Magic Mall here. We used to have something called J Mart. Those are like the flea markets. You go there, you go pass out your stuff. I used to go to a Sanford flea market, and it was this one dude. I used to sit my demos there on the table. People would take a copy of the demo, and I used to wear my demo around my neck when I worked at Walmart, and I would always keep a copy there. I always had copies all throughout my cars. So it was in person networking, and I was basically making a name for myself. And then another thing they always said at that music conference, those music conferences, was the streets. Get yourself big in the streets, and they will find you. Believe me, they will find you. So you have to get yourself big. So that's where that grinding, that networking, that this and that came from. But within that time frame emerged social media. It was something small. It started with chat rooms. Chat rooms did never really excite me like that. I remember we had now our social media, which is crazy. I graduated in 1999. I was born in 1981. So my chat, like social media, it used to be this phone number you could call. And you would be in different rooms and people would talk on the phone. It was all phone chat, so you never really seen the person's face. I don't even know what it was called. And if you decided you liked the person, you would chat through a different room or whatever. Or many people could chat in the same room. I don't really know how to explain it, but it was all without being seen. And then it kind of transformed into there being chat rooms online where people would go into different rooms, and it would be the same thing as like different forums. Now when it transferred to online like that from the phone chats, I didn't jump on that ship. I wasn't interested in that type of stuff. Me and my girls used to do the phone chat because it was just fun. It was just fun getting on there talking to new dudes and stuff like that, but nothing really came of it, you know what I mean? It's almost like how we used to get dressed up, go to the mall, get all these phone numbers, call them all, but not really, you know, nothing really came of that. It was just fun interacting with, you know. So chat rooms came about. And then the first thing that I ever joined and became a part of was MySpace. MySpace was the absolute best. You had music, you basically were dabbling in coding and didn't even know it. You designed your own background, you had your own, it was your perfect space. You displayed your art. So, of course, when you came to my page, you heard my Neck Bones and Collard Greens song. And I was getting heard because people were coming to my page. I was getting seen, and Project Reach the World, which I actually had a song, and you could see I had a screenshot from it where you know it'll play like three to five of your songs, and it actually had Project Reach the World up there. People were hearing me, they were seeing me. I was doing the crazy clothes and the different outfits, and people were loving me, vibing with me, and I could actually rap. It was good. It had a story behind it, and it was just a matter of time before I found that destiny helper and my family was back together. Just a matter of time. Just got to keep going, keep grinding, keep hustling. And from MySpace. Now, MySpace, I believe, is before something called an algorithm came about. Because crazy, unless it did have an algorithm, but it wasn't that strong like that. Because everybody got plays. You got seen. I think it was more of inline. So it's like this person posted, then the next post gets seen, then the next post gets seen. So everyone had equal opportunity. It wasn't waiting for an algorithm to catch you. It wasn't posting like I'm doing on my YouTube now. Posting, giving all this free content, but not even getting, nothing for it. It wasn't that. You were actually getting plays, you were getting heard, you were getting exposure, the exposure you need as the exposure I need as the founder of Project Reach the World to break this story, the exposure I need as the artist to get my artwork out to a, what is it called when you put like prospective buyers or purchasers of my art, or people to, how could I create something for you when you don't even know my behind exists, right? Because the algorithm won't show me. How can I, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna buy one of my hand painted t-shirts when you don't even know I live and breathe and walk this earth, right? So as long as you're hidden and buried in the algorithm, you never have the opportunities. So MySpace was so great, so awesome. I just knew it was a moment, a matter of time before, all this Project Reach the World came together. I could be like, my husband was wrongfully incarcerated, but he's home. He's home, and now we have more children. We're living our life, and we're together. And so that hustle actually backed off a lot of that depression, though, because it's hard to hustle and be depressed. Because depression kind of is like a upper and a downer, right? Depression is a downer, hustle is a upper. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So you can't do both, really. When you get depressed, your hustle stop, your grind stop, right? So, dang, that gives me another idea. This hustle and grinding depression, that brings its own. But anyways, back to this one with social media and mental health. So MySpace was cool. When MySpace abruptly just, it was still there, but I don't know why, but it was kind of, nobody was on there. It was like the codes were starting to be broken. Many of the pages didn't set up right, didn't come out right. But it was kind of still there, but it was just not the place that people went to. There was this new thing called Facebook. I'm like, okay, well, nobody's on MySpace, so I have to go to Facebook, even though I love MySpace. And Facebook, it was really cool at first because it's like, oh, this person from school, oh, they look so different. Oh, they got kids, they did this, that. And it was cool at first. And then your family, my family's in Chicago, don't have no family here. So that was cool to see your family like in real time, not just once a year, once every 3 to 5 years. Like you're literally seeing them and you can interact with them, you can send messages. That was cool. But then after, it kind of became, okay, now the same people. And then it became, I could put, you could put video on there, but it didn't really have a video player like that. The videos didn't always upload correctly. And then I could put my art. So I put a lot of pictures of my art, things I was drawing. Like in the process, you'll see me start a drawing and then you'll see me finish. And it was amazing, but it just was like, I know this is amazing. Why nobody is pushing like? Nobody likes this? I mean, this picture is so freaking awesome. You don't like that? This verse that I just wrote, oh my gosh, it is so fire. Y'all don't like it? No likes. And you're like, huh? Why is it like that? Why? Okay. A little bit after that, wait, did Facebook, what came first, the egg or the chicken? Did Facebook or YouTube come first? I know YouTube was 2008. I'm trying to figure when Facebook came. I actually think it was Facebook first, or they could be right around the same time. But for me, I was on Facebook first. And there was this girl that I went to school with, and I was saying I was a female rapper, and she's like, oh, so where's your music? Now, my music used to be on MySpace. Nobody's on MySpace. So I'm like, how can I get my music to where people can go to it? So there was this thing called YouTube. I've been on YouTube since YouTube started. Still not monetized. Nowhere near close to monetization. Haven't made the first penny. Not even $1. Not even a half penny, because they're paying them half pennies on YouTube. Not even the first half point penny or whatever from YouTube. But I've been on this app since it started. Since it probably wasn't even an app then. It was just a web page, right? Website. Did they have the YouTube app then? So I set up YouTube, put my music up there. And at this time, they were like, people were getting like signed off of YouTube, because that's when people were doing a lot of music. They were doing their artists, their favorite artists, like redoing their music. That's when it wasn't the copyright claims and stuff. Like you literally could, you were kind of free. It was like home videos, really. Everything wasn't so perfectly edited. You didn't have to be perfect. As long as you had that raw talent, you could sing, like they say, Justin Bieber. And I forgot that other guy. The one, you're a beautiful girl. Sean Kingston. Those two were said to be discovered on YouTube. Someone seen them, so it's like, of course, as a no-brainer for me to be an artist. This is cool because now I'm reaching people outside of Orlando. Now I'm in Orlando, Florida, which is like a Florida number one is crabs in a bucket. But Orlando, who comes from Orlando? Nobody. But there's so much talent here. But we don't have the opportunities to be seen. So we aren't seen. So it's like we don't exist. But I get on YouTube, put those little videos on there, and I never really cared to get the views like that. It was just like if I'm on Facebook and I'm talking about this project Reach the World and I'm telling you I'm a rapper and you want to hear my music, okay, so it was a place to direct you over to my music, basically. So I wasn't worrying about view counts and stuff like that. But on Facebook, I was like, okay, I'm getting all these friends and I have over 5,000 friends, but I don't even get 1 to 2 likes. So 5,000 people don't like me, because remember, I'm tied to my art. 5,000 people don't like this picture. 5,000 people don't like this new verse, this hot verse that I just put out. And that's where the mental health and social media, I think, for me started, right there with Facebook. And I did not know about algorithms, but I knew something was weird. Because I'm like, hold on now, why am I only seeing these couple of people's posts? And I'm like, wait, I was friends with this one girl, but she don't post. And then I go and search her name and realize she has been posting. I'm like, well, why don't I see it? Like, so this is how I figured out about the algorithm. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. She's posting, but I can't see it. So I was like, oh, so I'm posting and people can't see it. So maybe it's not that the 5,000 of my friends, people that decided to follow me, can't even see my work. So that's where I started learning about the algorithm. Then we fast forward to, I believe, was that 2000? It was the end of the first decade of 2000s when the passing of Trayvon Martin. And I kept trying to post something because that case really had me in my feelings. I felt like he could have almost been my son. Like, that really hurt me. So I posted something when the verdict was coming down about the guy that deleted him. And I kept getting this message that said, oops, error or something. Like, error? Why can't I try it again? Oops, error. Okay. And I got the idea, let me post something random, stuff that don't have no type of meaning. I post it and it goes through. No oops, error. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can't post what I want to post. I can't say what I want to say. Like, this is when I started realizing how this really goes. And I don't really, did they have shadow banning back then? Or these things that, like, were we being shadow banned back then? I don't know for sure. But I just know it was a lot of being, just feel like you were suppressed. Like you can't be seen, you can't, which leads people to try to push the envelope further. Maybe this will get me seen. Maybe that will get me likes. Maybe that keeps you logging in every 5 seconds. Did anybody like this yet? Let me check on that post I put out. I know it was fire. I know a lot of people liked it. Dang, nobody liked it. 2 people liked it. And it was due to them only showing it to the same handful of people. I got 5,000 followers, but you show it to the same 5 people that clearly never supported me from the beginning because they never liked the first thing. But you keep honing in on these same people that never like anything I post. And it was really people, like, you know how y'all on YouTube don't really know me or Marcello for real in real life? These were people that knew me, grew up with me, knew my husband, grew up with him, and won't support, will not support, won't share, won't like, won't not one god darn thing. And it was almost driving me crazy. I'm like, y'all know that I have a lot of talent. Could you please? It almost led me to being a beggar. Can you please support this? I know this can get off the ground. I just need some support. And I could never find the support I needed. And I've gained over a long span of time some support, but it's still not a collective that can actually get my stuff out there. So it grew very slowly. I just put a thought on TikTok about that. Slow growth feels like no growth. Because I have grown at the slowest sloth pace you can ever think of. And it still has not grown enough to reach that destiny helper. Which means if I've grown that slowly, I need 3 to 4 more times that I've taken to grow to this point to go. I don't even have that much life left. I would have to live to 1,000 at this point to break this story, and by then Marcello would be free. Like, so it became a mental battlefield of the mind. That's what social media became for me. It became a constant reminder that people don't rock with you like that, Cadillac. People don't like you. Ain't that cute? Look at your face. You ain't. And then as it got older, I mean not older, as time went on and people became flawless and perfect beings and face beat, and I don't beat my face like that. I'm not even into makeup and hair like I used to be. So I definitely ain't getting seen now because it's all about aesthetics. Like, so you're not cute enough. Your hair ain't good enough to be seen. For your post about your art and your husband to be seen, you don't look cute enough. Look at that. Your eye going to bed. That looks crazy. Look, you're not that small. You're not wearing the cute tight outfits. You know, them girls that get on those little small outfits and just show their tail and they get 1,000,000,000,000,000 likes. You're not getting that because you're not showing your tail. You're trying to show your art. We don't care nothing about art. A woman that wants to make it has to I don't care what she's trying to make it in. She's got to use her body, her looks, her. She got to bend it over. She got to do, and it made. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't care how much money, how much recognition, how much the algorithm would pick me up if I did that. I'm not doing that. That's against my morals. That's not me, and it conflicts with what I'm trying to do. So it just made it where only certain women got big on social media, and it was almost like you had to use your go back to what was that show, Players Club. Use what you got to get what you want. Like basically that's what it became on social media, and they've done nothing but enhance and enhance and enhance this algorithm. And now it's so Loctite. If you are not putting out the handful of content that is supported, I don't care if you make a trillion videos, they will make sure no one sees it. Now it's so many words. If you say it, not gonna get seen. Then YouTube is so competitive. You got to have the best of this, the best of that. You got to put all this time into editing. And then even then, people still act like pushing like is gonna out them. So then you start looking at others' channel like, okay, hold on, I'm doing a little bit more work than they are. But why do they have so much more views? Like, why can't I get the views? Like, it literally, it's crazy. It doesn't make sense to you. Because you know you're not that bad. You've seen way worse videos, and then they get more views. Or they're talking about nothing. I'm actually trying to make a difference, but I can't get a view. They're just playing around. They're just pranking. They're just, it's like, oh my gosh, like I could change people's lives. Not only my husband's life, my life. I am in this to help others, but I can't even get a help in the first place. You helping me would help so many more, but just sitting on that, you're not good. You don't look good enough. Your art ain't good enough. Your music ain't good enough. By then, hip hop changed, so of course my music wasn't good enough because it wasn't even the same type of. You hear these battles all the time between old school rappers and newer school rappers, which '90s and early 2000s are now old school rappers against the rappers of today. Many of the ones today don't even pay any homage to those that paved the way for them. So they don't even respect real lyricism and stuff like that. So now my music is whack, which they don't even use whack unless when they're ready to use the words that we used and act like they just came out, like they just invented them. Like I used to say period all the time, like way before that became a thing. I'd be like, that's it, period. Like there's nothing more. And then my daughter was like, why are you saying that? I said, I always say that. She's like, I didn't know that was a whole movement. That period. Like literally, we always did that. Or like bussing. Do you know how old bussing is? And when I said that, my little niece and nephew, yeah, bussing. You don't know what bussing is? Like, huh? This is how we talked in the '90s. But they don't pay where it came from. So you're just considered whack, right? So it makes you just second guess, second, third, fourth, fifth guess yourself. It is very hard to just put your content out because not only are you comparing, trying to figure out why I can't at least get what this person has or that person, you don't really want to compare yourself, but you have to, because if you're on YouTube, you're literally who just uploads their own stuff and never watches anything else. So it's an interaction. You're watching, you're consuming, and you know, but many times we consume more than we produce. And I'll consume a lot of content and I'll support those content creators. I will like, I will comment, I will share, I will do all of the above. But the favors not too much return to me. It's not a give and take. It's not a I help you, you help me. I watch your stuff, you watch my stuff. No, I support, you support. No. It's a I'm giving out and then I get back just a little bit, not enough to move anything. So it's not a working together thing. It's a competition thing. And I never really like competition like that because I already know when there's a competition involved, baby, I already know I lost it. Because I'm not ever the pick. I'm never the choice. So it's not only the competition online, the realizing you're not good enough to get the views or the likes or the shares, which is me, myself, and my art, because I am both. I'm my art, me, myself, and my art. um, I don't know, it just really makes you second guess yourself. And now, because I've created so much online, it's so hard. It's like I'm invested, and it's so hard for me to just quit it and reroute and move a different way. And also, we're in a day and age of social media. So you have to, even people that are not social media people, like you got lawyers, you got doctors, you got all them people that's doing liposuction and stuff, like everyone's on social media because that's the new way to promote your business, to promote your product, to promote your brand. It's always, like he said, relationships. TJ, remember I told you, TJ, it's still about relationships. It's who knows you, not even who you know, because you can know some folks. It's who knows you. Then I heard about TikTok. Now, TikTok ain't had an algorithm locked down like that to where, we're just not going to show you to, you got some. Now, it does have the algorithm-y feeling, and it's getting tighter. But it still was almost like that MySpace where it was in line and it was showing everybody. I heard that Vine was like that too, but I didn't get on the Vine. I didn't get on that Vine back then. I guess I started that. I was supposed to, but then it quickly shifted to something else. There are some social medias that stayed around for a long time and some that didn't. I didn't like Twitter because I could never, it limited me, and I'm long-winded. I could never say what I needed to say. So I was like, I don't even want to be on here. I just left. So the main ones I kept was, and Facebook, I had to pray myself from being stuck on Facebook. Because it started to be torturous to me because it was instilling in me that people that really know me won't even support me. So I definitely got to be nothing. And the only time people did respond is like when you do one of those nervous breakdown posts, right? You're reaching out for help and you can't get no help nowhere. That's what Facebook began for me. And thank God he broke that Facebook thing. I heard a lot of people saying it was hard for them to get off Facebook. When they did, their lives changed. Like Ashley Diamond Royal Ministries. She went through the same thing. She was doing her same videos, same topics, same everything on Facebook, and people were clowning her. People wouldn't like, wouldn't share, wouldn't nothing. And she took her same stuff, sorry, and went over to from Facebook to YouTube and took off. And now is a big YouTuber. It's many that, for even for myself, I thought my content was so horrible because I can't get movement at all on YouTube. Took it right over to TikTok, and now TikTok do limit you. They give you some views, but they keep you in a certain cap. So they'll keep you in that 200, which really I don't think is 200 of your actual viewers. I think you might get the same 4 or 5 like that Facebook. And then I don't know if those are just bot views or what, because I don't really think there are 200 people watching it. But most of your stuff you'll upload will stay at 200. And you don't really too much break out of that to be able to grow. But the growth is more achievable on TikTok than it is on YouTube. Not to say that you can't. The only way I started growing on YouTube and my channel grew in the wrong way was when YouTube Shorts were introduced. So now I can get the followers, and they still don't even show your stuff to your followers, but I cannot get the watch time hours. So I'll almost never be monetized, honestly, because the way they got it set up. And monetization is not it is good because then it gives you the freedom to work on your content because you're not clocking in. You're making something from your creation, your creativity. But in my case, I really just need the reach. I need someone to hear this story. I need somebody to help me break this story. So, but I can't get the views. You gotta get the eyes, and it's hard to get the eyes. So it will leave you. I hate when that interrupts my video like that. Then I didn't even realize I didn't have do not disturb, so that completely just ruined that part of the video. And then it'd be so loud and disruptive. And I don't edit. And the reason I don't edit is because I used to spend days editing for nobody to watch. So I just said, forget it. But yeah, social media has took a toll on me and my mental health. So like I was saying, I fight with my content. Like I said, I'm an artist. I want to create. I want to make videos. I want to enlighten people. I want to tell my stories so they can help somebody else. But still, I'm not good enough to be seen. So it's a push pull. You do it. It's almost like that mentality you get out of if you play slot machines. If you've played them, they kind of, when I was watching a lot of narcissistic abuse content, and they were saying, why do people stay with such horrible people that treat them so badly? But it's because sometimes you're not. It's that one win that you keep playing, and I actually won one time accidentally. Didn't even want to play, and I won. And then you play, and you think that you're going to, get that one moment. So almost with YouTube, you keep creating, and you just know this one video is going to take off. Like I had a video take off, but I wasn't really doing YouTube in that time. So I come back to my channel years later, realized the video took off, but I wasn't present. It was like I went home, they delivered the package and I wasn't home. But I'm home now. I'm creating videos. I'm here. And now the package never is delivered. The package never come back. And now I'm actively trying for the package but don't get it. But yeah, it causes, because how do you really get around social media? How do you get the success in these things? Like literally, you can't even hardly get justice without social media. Like, so I don't know. It just causes a, it's crazy. It causes a lot of wear and tear on your mental health. Unless you're the content creator that uploads and takes off, and it was so simple and easy, and now you're monetized. Boom, 6 months. Now you're making money. Now you quit your job, and now you're perfectly free to be you, create content, make money, be perfect, be able to travel like you want, to everything. But if that ain't you, it becomes a toll. It takes a toll on you. Yeah. And for me, I've came so far down the street that it's hard to just scrap it all. Because I actually got some meaningful stuff on here. Everything I do ain't perfect. I do got some jewels on here. It is some videos I look back on. I'm like, that came out of me. I said that. Like that was perfectly said. And I'm a person that can't talk. I don't talk perfect. Like I literally can't even stay on point, on focus. I be all over the place. But sometimes I actually nail it. But yeah, mental health and social media. And then it becomes an addiction because it's hard to get your butt off of social media. You know you need to get out of that competition mindset. You know you need to get out of that looking around. Did they make it yet? Did they make it yet? I ain't made it yet. Did prison wise, he came home. He came home. Is Marcello coming home? Like seeing others starts making you, when you see what others have, it starts making you feel like, well, why don't I have that? Why my husband can't come home? Why I can't sell pictures like that? This person literally just came up with this and just did it like that. Why isn't it that easy for me? Like why I didn't upload one video and it took off? Why it just creates chaos. I think they like that. They really do like us in competition mode. Because in a competition, there's like one or two winners, right? One winner. In a community and everyone, we all would win, right? All right, guys. It's your girl Cadillac.